Hello, America, and everywhere else in the world. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Corey Has a Podcast. I'm your host, Corey Easley, and I'm back once again. And Big Pun said, "That's my wife. I paid for those titties. Get your own, dog, you heard?" And when I was a little boy, I was like, yo, all you got to do is pay for the titties, and that's how you know she's yours. And then I grew up. So what's up, everybody? I went to Miami. I came home. It was cool. It was a great time. It was a life-changing experience because I went to an event surrounded by a bunch of people who enjoy the same thing that I enjoy, and that's fitness. That's doing shit with your body, you know? And even though there was competition and things like that going on, everybody's attitude was just so good. Everybody was so kind to each other. Getting on the elevator with people, and these motherfuckers like, oh yeah, after you. You know, like everybody's just so polite. And you're in this environment with a bunch of people who are just happy to be there. And you're next to all types of athletes that, you know, I personally follow on social media, and you meet them in person and they're just super nice. Met Justin Medeiros, CrossFit Games champion. Super fucking nice dude. Like, he won the games, you know, and it was really cool. It was a really dope event. And Kai Green was there, the bodybuilder. Like, for those who don't know, I feel like I shouldn't have to say the bodybuilder, but for people who are listening to this who don't know or give a shit, Kai Green is a famous bodybuilder, and he walked right by me, and I was like, oh, I'm taller than Kai Green, you know, which is the first thing I think whenever I meet a famous person. You know, my old job, I used to meet celebrities all the time. And the first thing I would want to know if one of them came in on a day I wasn't there is, am I taller than them or what? Not because I need to be, just out of curiosity. Some people look tall on screen. Ben Affleck, tall guy. I'm not as tall as him. Michael Keaton, short. Mark Anthony, tiny little man. Jennifer Garner, jacked. Could have been at the event that I was just at last weekend. Anyway, what's up, you guys? Truth be told, I'm in the middle of trying to figure out how I'm going to order a new water bottle. And for the longest time, I know this seems like a very small thing, but like, I'm the type of person that will go shopping online. I'll put something in the cart and I'll just fucking walk away. I'll have my laptop open. I'll stick some shit and I'll add to cart. All I got to do is hit checkout, and I'll just walk away. I'm on the Rogue website, and I've had water bottles. Like, I've had the Hydro Flask. I've had the fucking Hydro Peak or whatever, like Swell, all this shit. Like, I've never had a Yeti one, but they all do the same thing, right? Like, they got the stainless steel shit on the outside. If you drop it on a hard floor, it's just like, it sounds like it's just insane. It sounds like somebody is dropping a bunch of dishes in the kitchen or something. It's just like super loud. So now they got like these plastic ones. But also I just have this thing where I'm like, how do I clean this? And is the mouth wide enough for me to stick my wand in there? Don't be a pervert. You know what I mean? Can I stick my wand in the mouth of the water bottle to clean it? And am I really going to clean it? Is it dirty? Bacteria is going to build up from wherever I leave it. It's going to be in my bag. But shit in the bag just somehow ends up getting dirty. So I guess my biggest concern is like, what the fuck is BPI? What is it? BPI free? Does it say on the water bottles when you buy them? It's BPI free. What is BPI? Is it something that's been killing people? It's something that we just recently discovered is toxic because people have been smoking cigarettes for a long time, and I heard that they give you cancer. So hold on a second. What is water bottle BPA free? What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? BPA free means BPA free water bottles are manufactured without the presence of bisphenol A. Other traditional or older water bottles that are quote-unquote regular or non-BPA-free water bottles are made with bisphenol A. Now, what is a BPA-free water bottle is the question I asked before Google decided to answer a question I didn't ask. BPA-free water bottles are plastic bottles that contain no traces of bisphenol. These bottles are deemed safe for food and beverage use and are usually marked with a BPA-free logo, right? But what does BPA do? Using BPA-free plastic products could be as harmful to human health, including a developing brain. What? As those products contain the controversial chemical, suggest scientists in a new... Okay, so this is how you get to the bottom of this, right? I'm sorry, but I just need to know. Bisphenol A toxicity, which is a word that I kind of enjoy saying. And exposure to BPA is a concern because of the possible health effects on the brain and prostate gland of fetuses, infants, and children. So I'm not any of those things, so I guess I'm fine, right? It can also affect children's behavior. Like it make your kid act like a fucking psycho. It makes your kid go into a store and start embarrassing you. You give your kid some water out of a BPA-free bottle, or you give somebody else's kid, you go to the Little League game and you give somebody else's, hey man, you look like you could use some water, and then you sabotage the other team by letting all the other kids drink out of BPA bottles, and all your kids got the BPA free bottles, so they're playing like studs, but the fucking other kids are something, now they have permanent brain damage because they took a sip of water from a water bottle. BPA, increased blood pressure, type 2 diabetes. You could just give them diabetes real fast, type 2 style, right? From BPA, from chemicals. Chemicals are in everything, though. Everything. All the shit you like's got chemicals in it. It's in a package. They use chemicals. The only way to not have chemicals is to... Oh, Jesus, this cat just came in here. I wonder if you heard the meow. Snuck up on me, startled me. By the way, I've been doing a lot of cat content on social media. Follow me, Corey_the coach, because I am in fact a coach. I help people to improve their lives, people. But every night, soon before I decide to go to bed, which is typically pretty early, right? Between like 8 and 9 p.m. I'll just film a couple of seconds of my cat doing something. You know, she's been getting a lot of spotlight, a lot of limelight, she's famous now, basically. She vomited in the middle of the night. I woke up to pee. All the lights were off. I stepped in it barefoot. That hasn't happened to me in a long time. And she came up and stood there and watched me clean it. You know, so I personally think that she's kind of like feeling herself a little bit too much. You know, she goes into this little box to take a shit where I keep the litter box. And I'm starting to think maybe I should take it out of the box. You know, maybe she should feel a little bit ashamed. Maybe she should shit out in the open so everybody can watch her so she can feel vulnerable, you know? Because everybody's like, why is she so well behaved? And it's because every time she took a shit when she was a kitten, I would stare directly into her eyes the entire time. So she knew that I was the dominant animal. No, she's just a great cat, and she's really good on camera. You know, what can I say? People love her. She's staring at me now. They do that sometimes. I saw this meme. It said, why do babies stare at you like they know you from somewhere? I think that's hilarious. When a baby does it, it's kind of funny, but when a adult person does it, it's not that funny. So anyway, yeah, I'm having this water bottle situation, and I'm like, it's just in the cart. First, it was like, what color am I going to get? And then I was like, who am I kidding? Definitely going to go military green. That's what I like. But if I'm going to go see-through, because I feel like at least with see-through, if your water looks, if there's something floating around in there, you could see it. You know, plastic is cool because if you drop it, you could be discreet still-ish. Right? I actually had one of those, it was like a hard metal one, and the lid was like a hard plastic, but it fell from like high up. It fell from maybe like over 6 feet up and fell to some hard tile, and the bottle got a couple of dents in it, but like the top just broke into pieces. And I was like, why would I have this heavy duty, like this is I'm coming home and I walk down the wrong street and a couple of guys try to run up on me. Like, I could use this bottle as a weapon. And the top just broke to pieces. And it was really disappointing. I'm like, why would you have this heavy duty water bottle if the fucking top is like so flimsy? And then I tried to go online and be like, hey, could you guys send me another top? And they just, it wasn't, turns out like, it's like, is this company even real? We don't make this anymore. But the truth is, I bought that shit at Marshall's. And everybody knows you go to Marshall's and they got the little water bottle area. It's like whatever they got, that's just what they got. They got all different shapes and sizes. You got short ones, you got tall ones, you got fat ones, you got skinny ones, you got brands you never heard of. And it'll have a little thing on the packaging that says as seen on TV, but who the fuck watches TV anymore? We watch YouTube. We stream. You know, we used to have to like live through whack ass shows on TV before our show came on, you know, but we don't have to do that anymore. And if you pay a little bit of extra, you don't even have to watch commercials. So the whole time, it's just been about having money to pay a little extra so you don't have to watch commercials. And life is just like that too. Right? Are you watching commercials in your everyday life? Well, pay a little more money and you won't have to fucking worry about it. Right? This is America. Make more money. That's what the guy from The Departed said. One of my favorite movies. You know, I think Jack Nicholson, I probably said this before. Jack Nicholson is one of the most talented actors I've ever watched in a movie, I think. I also love DiCaprio. I mean, come on. The guy's great. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was a movie that I watched while I was in kind of a rough spot last year. And it really put me in a good mood because my boy said, yo, that movie's just about these two guys being best friends. And I'm like, that's nice, man. And then I watched it and I'm like, he's totally right. That's what this movie is about. That's what I took from it. You know? And it's satisfying too at the end. I like a movie that like what you want to happen happens. For those of you who haven't seen it, check it out. It's pretty good. Check it out. I drive these brothers crazy. They do it on the daily. Stacey Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know if she's still making music, but whatever. Now, it has previously occurred to me that Maroon 5 stopped being good after their second album. And I just want to know what happened. But the truth is, I remember years ago, I was working at a job. And I remember there was a girl there who told me she met Adam Levine at Rag & Bone, the store in New York City, and said he just insisted upon himself. He was just not friendly. He was just kind of like, I'm Adam Levine. And in my mind, I'm just like, bro, like Songs About Jane is an incredible album. It's one of my favorite albums that I've ever listened to. But also, you're just not cool enough to do that. You know, there's you just got like what happened to just being humble to regular people? I like celebrities that are assholes to other celebrities but are nice to regular people. I think that's cool. You're going to be a dickhead to somebody who's working in a clothing store. You know how fucking miserable it is to work retail for fucking hours at a time? I did that shit for 10 years. It's just like, oh my God, like your time, it's like no wonder I wanted to just be at a bar all the time, right? Like it's like you're dealing with people all day coming and being entitled, and you're going to come in after you made She Will Be Loved and act like an asshole? Now I don't believe anything you say. But anyway, don't believe in you anymore. Yeah, man. I mean, the guy had a great voice, or still has one. I don't know. Got in trouble last year a little bit from sending inappropriate messages to some chick who decided to put it all out there. Listen, man, if it could be screenshotted, it's probably a bad idea. All right? Just going to say it, right? We should all just know that. You know, when you're talking to clients, when you're talking to people who just happen to be a fan of you or whatever. It's like, don't you think, like, you would think people would be a lot smarter than that. Yo, I talk to motherfuckers like there's like, you ain't gonna get shit out of me unless there's a lawyer present. Because, you know, I keep it professional. Like, if you talk to me, the conversation is not going to be something that I'd be ashamed if it was shared. You know what I mean? But, you know, if you shared it, it would be like, yeah, that sounds like something he would say. I respect it. You know what I mean? I don't do that shit, man. But Adam Levine was out here wilding the fuck out. And that's what happens. You get too ahead of yourself. And he was probably like, you know what, bitch, this is my house. But still, what happens with that is you just end up by yourself. Right? And you end up looking like an asshole. But then again, everybody thinks you're an asshole anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter. You got nothing to lose. Listen, I'm going to get the hell out of here. This is probably going to be a shorter episode. But real quick, I just want to go back and just say Wadapalooza was the event I was just at in Miami. With my lady, and we had a really fucking nice time. We were just around fitness, and we were around people with good attitudes, and people were competing, and it just kind of opened the doors to looking at people that are doing things that are not impossible. It's always nice to see people do things right before your eyes that other motherfuckers that don't do anything, that are just kind of sitting around letting life pass them by, sitting around criticizing and judging what everybody else is doing. Every time you have an idea about something you want to try that sounds a little bit outlandish, they want to shoot you down and tell you how hard it's going to be. You can't share stuff with them because people, they just want to bring you down. They got a shitty attitude. They're bitter. They're never going to do anything with their lives. Don't listen to those people. You see something that can be done is because it's possible. You see people doing it is because it's possible. And you could get out there and do it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not you? These people are doing it. You can do it too. Don't listen to these fucking bitter people who aren't sitting around doing anything with their lives. Or they did something 5 years ago and they think they're the fucking authority on it. It's like, what are you doing now? Because if they were doing something now, they wouldn't have shit to say about what you were doing other than, nice, go for it. I'd love to see how this comes out. But people like to hate, and let them hate. Don't let them discourage you, because they will try to, and it will get in your head sometimes. So do your best to just stiff arm these motherfuckers and keep staying positive and keep believing in yourself, because you could do way more than these motherfuckers want you to believe. Listen, I'm going to leave on that note, all right? Have a fucking wonderful day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Later.